The one that I remember most vividly was the night we bombed Libya. And we had to do a live television show that night. Now, we got word that the bombing had taken place, the president was going to speak. We were going to do 3 hours of a live Academy of Country Music Award show at Knott's Berry Farm. So my job was, I wasn't on the show, I was producing it. But I quickly got into my tuxedo because I trusted me more than anybody I could turn to. Say, if you want it long, I'll stretch it. You want it short, I can shorten it. I went to Barbara Mandrell because I knew she could talk, and I said, Barbara, can you, if necessary, can you talk with me? We might have to go 45 minutes. I said, no problem. I said, on the other hand, it might be 3 minutes. I said, no problem. So I had that accordion plea. The other time we were in Australia, and this was not a world event, but it shows you how a team works together. We're doing a live remote from Australia of a beauty contest to New York, flying over by a satellite. About 20 minutes before we're about to go on the air, and I guess we were in Sydney, out in the boondocks somewhere, a crane drove by and knocked down all of the overhead wires, blasted the control board out, the computers melted, everything we'd stored just turned upside down. It's a total disaster. Again, I get my suit because, again, I was supposed to be backstage. I said to the two hosts, doesn't matter who they are, I said, I'm going to be there with you, and this is what we're going to do. And the first thing I'm going to do is go on the air and explain to the audience we've had a disaster. That if anything goes wrong, this is the reason why, because it was a shambles. We had nothing. All of the pre-recorded packages were gone. The script is out the window. The guys can't even run the board. It was going to be awful. 5 minutes before we go on the air, a helicopter comes in. They bring a new board in. They drop it. They put it in the control room. Guy hasn't got time to weld it together, solder it, or whatever the devil they do. He sits there like this for the first 17 minutes with wires in his hand, holding it together while we do the show. I do the cop out at the top of the show saying, if it's a disaster, bear with us. Nothing ever went wrong. It ran smooth as glass. It all came up. It went like that. People said to me, you clever son of a gun. You did that on purpose. You went out there and said, watch for the disasters to suck them in, didn't you? I said, no, it was true. But the show went well.